What's up everyone? I hope you are all doing well. In today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you how I go about editing my photos here on the smartphone. In this case, it's going to be using my new Vivo X100 Pro. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through a couple photos that I've taken over the past couple days, and I'm just going to kind of go through my thought process and how I would be editing them. In this one, we're gonna focus less on colors and more on something that I think everyone needs to learn. And that very, very, very important thing is masking. So we're gonna be using Lightroom Mobile here. As you can see, I've got it pulled up right here. We're gonna have a little overlay here, and we're just gonna go through, like I said, a couple photos that I've taken, and I'm gonna go through what I would do and why I would do them. All right, so our first photo here, it was taken with the 100mm, and you can see we are just zooming in on some cool shadows on the side of a building here. There you go, you can see zooming in there. I do believe this was base ISO, which should have been 50, so we are looking quite nice. I do always love the detail and the natural noise that this sensor is giving me so far. So like I said, we're not gonna go super into colors today. Tons of different things you can do, changing hues and all of that stuff. But like I said, today we are gonna focus on masking, as I think this is what really is gonna separate you from everyone else when you are editing your photos. So the way that I like to shoot is I always try and have some sort of area with light and some sort of area with dark. And what I want to try and do is bring out the difference in those even more in post. So for example, looking here, you can see we've got this shadow coming, kind of intersecting right down at the middle of the building here. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm just going to grab a linear gradient. We're going to kind of get it set up like so. You can see we can zoom out here and move this around a bit. So I think we're just gonna kind of match the overall kind of angle that we have here. And we're gonna go into our light settings here, and we're gonna jump to exposure. I think, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop the exposure on this corner quite a bit, just like that. Overall as well, you can go into the light panel here, and we could just grab something like our shadows here, and you could bring them even darker if you wanna do something like that, which I think looks quite good like so. And this is a pretty flat image. There's not a whole lot going on here. You've just got one area of main shadow and then one area of main light. So another thing we can do is we can zoom out here and give ourselves something like a big old radial gradient there. There we go. Maybe put it up in the corner here. And another thing you can do is just kind of blow out our highlights just a little bit, get them a little bit brighter. If you want, you could come down here to white and you could bust those up as well. I don't know why I said bust, that's not the right word. But yeah, I don't like how that looks, so we're gonna leave it kind of like so. Another thing I like to do is to do some negative dehaze, but I think in the terms of this building, since it's architecture, I think we're just gonna kind of leave it like that. You can see what we're looking like there. It's pretty bright. I think some of that might be going towards a white like so. But I mean, very simple edit there. I haven't even touched the colors, but just before and after, you can see just how much more dramatic this is. And this is doing a lot more than if you just increased the contrast on its own here. So let's, let me just revert this back to, right here, we're gonna reset this. And instead of what we just did, let's come down here and let's just boost the contrast. So you can see that's what we look like with our boosted contrast. You can see it doesn't actually do a whole lot. It just kind of, it gives that kind of false sharpness when you go too much with the contrast. So let's see if we can get back. Is that how it works? There we go. So we've got back to our image here. Again, before and after with that one. And then of course I could go in and change some of the colors as well. I might even want to come in and like maybe raise the blacks a bit, just like that, to kind of flatten out the shadows a bit. Give that kind of faded shadow look. But anyway, that's our first photo there. That's the way that I think I would want to edit that one. Next up here, I've got another 100mm shot, and you can see this one is of what looks to be possibly some sort of apartment building like that. Lots of the same style little balconies going on right there. And then we also have this other side of the building here that kind of cuts in like so. And I think I already see what I want to do. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to try and bring some shadow as if it's coming out from behind the building in the front here. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to head back over to our masks again. And again, I'm gonna grab a linear gradient, and this time I wanna kind of follow the shape of this building here on the right. So it's gonna be, let's see if I can get it more or less vertical. You know, we might add actually a little bit more like this, just to give even a little bit more kind of depth and just a little bit, you know, different light going on. And then actually what we're gonna do is I don't want this to affect the building in front so much. So we can come here and we can do subtract from this mask. And what I think I'm gonna do is actually just choose the brush here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna brush out this building. Like so, a little bit tedious maybe on mobile here. And we're not gonna be able to get as exact as we might be able to on the PC version, but I think that is probably okay. We'll see what happens here after we go back. So we're back on our mask here and we can see now that we have most of the building cut out. Maybe I need to go a little bit more up there, like so. There we go. Let's try this and see how it does. And again, what I want to do is I'm going to come to exposure. That's contrast. Let's go to exposure here. Maybe we'll do something like this. Let's see. I'm gonna have it kind of like so as well. So you can see it looks really strange right now, but I have an idea of what I think I want to do. And again, maybe another one here. There we go. We can darken this one just a little bit. Maybe bring down some highlights. And I think maybe I went a little bit overboard on this one, so we can come back in here. Maybe change it just a little bit like so. There we go. If we zoom out, we can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here. I'm going to try a similar thing here. We're just going to get a big radial gradient here, make it nice and large and way up here off to the side. Make it like a big light source like the sun might be. Try and raise that again. Like so. Not quite sure how I'm feeling about this one yet. But we can see before and after, it's just a lot more dynamic. There's a lot more going on with the light here. And again, this might not be the most accurate way that the light actually was, but we are using the tools within Lightroom to just try and make it a little bit more dynamic. And you know what? This might be kind of okay. Let's see what it looks like if we do another little bit there, a little bit darker with all of it. Maybe that looks a bit better. And you know what? I've got one more idea. This is probably going to be a hit or miss, but I want to do another kind of radial here. And this one, let's see, can we intersect on mobile? No, we can't. So what I think I'm going to do here is, again, I'm going to go to subtract, and we're going to go to brush. This time with this one, I'm going to brush out all of this area here. So this time I only want this radial to be affecting the side building on the right. Let's see, that looks like it'll probably be okay. Then we're going to come in here with what's remaining of this mask. Maybe do just a little bit of brightening up there. So there we go. I think that looks a little bit more natural to how it might actually look in some like kind of severe lighting going on. So again, here is the before. Here's the after, just a lot more dynamic. And like I said, there's a ton of stuff that we could do with color as well. For example, we could come in here to our grading. You could add some sort of color here to the shadow. I feel like a bit of an orange could be good there. Add a bit of warmth to the shadows. Maybe in this case, I don't like having so much blue in the photo. So you can see here, especially on the right, if we go all the way up, you can see the building over here has a lot of blue and like the reflections on the windows. You can see some blue over there on our main kind of subject. So we might come over and just get rid of a lot of blues. And again, there we go, before and after on that one. So that's how I like that one. I think we will finish right there with that image. And let's do one more right here. Again, this one also just happens to be with the 100mm. This one, very dark at night. We had some pretty high ISO with this one, so if we zoom in, we can see a ton of noise going on with this one. So in a case like this, something I might do is just come in and apply some basic noise reduction. Maybe start at 20, see what that looks like before and after. I'm not super opposed to the noise either. I quite like how the noise looks with this device. It is quite nice if I say so myself. So you can see if we go all the way up to 100, it's gonna probably become a smeary mess. This is what JPEGs tend to look like. They tend to go way overboard in my opinion on noise reduction. So I say, let's just go around there, just do a little bit of some light one. I tend to keep sharpening about where it is, so we'll just leave that for now. And the first thing that I wanna do is come over here to our masks once again. So with this image here, we have our main light area in the middle, and then we've also got this kind of road going up in the background. I don't know if I want to do anything in the back there just yet, or if we might keep it kind of just from this little overhang bit and then towards us. So as you'll see, the first thing I usually do is some sort of linear gradient with a shadow. In this case, we're going to kind of follow the shape of the road here. Maybe something like so. Drop it more. And then we might even raise blacks just a little bit to kind of show what's happening there. Let's see what it looks like before and after. Not a huge difference there. You can see a little bit flatter shadow, but then also like a little bit darker as well. Okay, so let's keep that for now. I'm actually looking up here and I'm not really liking this kind of purple and green going on, so that is quite annoying. What I'm gonna do, come into our purple and we're gonna drop that all the way. Maybe even pink as well. So there's not really a whole lot of purple and pink going on elsewhere in the image, so it's pretty okay to just drop it like so. I don't know if I like the green either. Let's see, you can see there's a lot of green kind of over here in the shadow as well. So if we go all the way down, it's starting to look a little bit black and white here. So let's see, maybe we can go into our grading here. And again, just add a tiny bit of some kind of shadow. Maybe we'll go cool with this one. Let's see, maybe we can sit that and then maybe go a little bit orangey in the mid tones there. So you can see we've got a bit of the blue and orange look going on now with this one. We'll just leave it like that for now and head back to our masks here. So something that I love to do is with these point light sources like this, come in and add some radial gradients here. Like so, pretty close enough here. We're gonna increase our exposure quite a bit, and then one of my favorite little things to do here is dehaze as well. And if you go negative into the dehaze, it adds kind of like a nice kind of filmy glow to it. Like so, I quite like that. And let's see, what's the easiest way to do this here? So I can duplicate, that is quite nice. So here we go, we'll do the same thing and we'll just carry it right over here to this one. Like so. So you can see our before and our after so far, what we're looking like here. Let's see, do I want to do some up here? Let's see what it looks like on the top here. So just another radial. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it so much on the top there. I think I want our main focus to be these two lights on the overhang here. So, tell you what, we will delete this one right here. And just looking at this, I'm trying to think, what do I want to do to make it more dynamic? So again, here's the before, here's the after. Not a huge change so far. So, okay, we could try going towards the back of the road here. I've got an idea. I'm not quite sure how this is going to look. So maybe we get a radial like that. And we're going to go crazy on the subtract here. Let's see, might just go for brush. And what I'm thinking is we might just brush out this whole area up here. Kind of along the sides here as well. I kind of want to isolate just that back road area. That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, this might be a little bit tedious on mobile. So let's Let's try and get our lights out of that as well. What is that looking like? Wow, that looks really bad in the preview, but hopefully it's not too terrible. Let's get right along the edge here. Okay. So let's just get the rest of this out. This looks like it might be okay for now. So hopefully, what I'm hoping here is that we just have this kind of road area. My gosh. Let's try this a couple more times over there to get most of that out. Okay. There we go. Now we've got this kind of road area here, and what I kind of want to do is get it a bit darker back there as well, kind of like so. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. It has us focused more on the center part here. I don't hate that. And again, I might just try and add one more here. So I tend to stack my masks as well if I'm unsure if I want to keep it like so or not. So again, let's see if we make it really dark coming up. This is a pretty moody image here. You know what? I like that. I don't hate that. So again, looking at the before here and the after, you can see just a bit of a different vibe. Didn't change the colors a whole lot, added a little bit of some cool to the shadows and a bit of some orange to the midtones there, and then focused mostly on our masking. So I think that's about how I would make that look with this image right here. And I think that's gonna be the end of this one today. Don't want it to go too long, but I do think it is very important to learn and practice masking. So yes, I am gonna put these raw files in the description as well. Feel free to download them and give it a go as well. You can try following along, making your own edits, doing colors and stuff like that. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and look forward to tons of new content here with the Vivo X100 Pro. I am in love with this thing. And yeah, in the meantime, keep staying healthy, doing all those good things, and I will see you guys in the next video.